One decision, that's all it takes. People think change is this long, drawn-out process, but I'm telling you, in an instant, your life can shift. The moment you make a real decision, not a wish, not a maybe, but a real, unshakable commitment to change, everything begins to move. Most people never decide. They think about it, they talk about it, they write it down in a journal and revisit it once a year, but they don't decide. And without decision, there's no direction. Without decision, there's no destiny. You've got to get to a place where you draw a line in the sand and say, that's it, no more. I'm done living like this. And it's not about being ready, it's about being certain. Real decisions aren't made when it's convenient. They're made when it's necessary. When your back's against the wall and you say, I'm not going back there, I don't care how hard this gets, I'm moving forward. You see, one weekend can change everything, not because time is magic, but because in that compressed moment, you stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop needing a guarantee. And instead, you decide to take back control of your life. You decide to be the one who writes the ending to your story, not the one who reads it like a victim. And I know what happens. Fear kicks in. Doubt starts whispering. But here's the truth. Decisions are what carve the path forward. Not resources, not talent, not luck. It's decisions. Your life comes down to your decisions and your rituals. The moment you choose something with every ounce of your being, you activate a force inside you that doesn't back down. And that force, once it's unleashed, is unstoppable. You're not waiting for the right time. You're not hoping something changes. You are the change. One decision right now with everything you've got, that's the spark. That's the fire starter. Because in the end, one weekend isn't about what happens around you. It's about what happens within you. You know what keeps most people stuck? It's not their circumstances. It's not their past. It's not the economy, their parents, or what happened 5 years ago. It's the story they've been telling themselves over and over again. That's what holds them hostage. That story becomes a cage, and the worst part? It feels real. It feels justified. I'm not good enough. I always mess things up. I don't have what it takes. These aren't facts. They're beliefs. And beliefs, when repeated enough, become your truth, even when they're built on lies. We all have that voice in our head that tries to keep us safe, to protect us from pain, failure, rejection. But that voice can also keep us small. It can convince you that where you are now is all there is, that what's behind you is stronger than what's ahead of you. And if you don't interrupt that pattern, if you don't challenge that voice, it'll run your life without you even realizing it. The truth is, the moment you identify the belief that's limiting you, you take its power away, because now you can see it. You can question it. Is that really true? Or did I just accept that years ago and never revisit it? That's when the real shift happens. You realize the only thing standing between you and the life you want isn't the world. It's the lens you've been looking through. And here's the key. If you can create a belief, you can also destroy it. You can replace it. You can upgrade it. That's the beauty of being human. We're not fixed. You can rewrite the story. You can choose a new narrative, but it won't happen until you stop clinging to the old one. You have to be willing to let go of the identity that's keeping you comfortable in exchange for the one that's going to make you powerful. So if you want breakthrough, if you want that transformation, it starts with confronting the lie. It starts with getting honest about what you've been believing and deciding once and for all that you're done letting that belief drive the car. Because once you break the belief, you break the pattern. And when the pattern breaks, your life begins. You don't get what you want. You get who you are. That's the game. People walk around with all these goals, dreams, intentions, but they're carrying around an identity that doesn't match the life they say they want. And the truth is, your identity will always win. Every single time. You can hustle. You can grind. But if deep down you see yourself as someone who always falls short, or someone who's not worthy, your behavior will eventually match that belief. Identity is the thermostat of your life. You can turn up the heat with motivation, with willpower, with temporary energy. But if your internal setting is stuck on I'm average or I'm not enough, Guess what? You'll find a way to cool things back down. You'll sabotage, you'll delay, you'll shrink. Not because you're weak, but because your mind is loyal to who you believe you are, not who you wish to be. So how do you shift it? You stop trying to change from the outside in. You start by asking, who would I have to become to live the life I want? Not what do I need to do, but who do I need to be? That shift changes everything. Because when you adopt a new identity, your habits start to align. Your standards rise. You stop tolerating the things that kept you small. You show up differently. And it's not fake. It's not pretending. It's remembering. It's tapping into the version of you that's already there but buried under years of fear, conditioning, and other people's expectations. You've been rehearsing an identity based on survival. It's time to step into one built for expansion. Every breakthrough starts with identity. If you see yourself as someone who never follows through, that's exactly what you'll get. But the moment you declare, I am relentless, I am disciplined, I am unstoppable, and you back it up with action, that's when your world begins to change. It's not enough to hope for a better life. You have to become the person who lives that life. One decision, one ritual, one day at a time. Because when your identity changes, everything else follows. Logic will make you think, but emotion, that's what makes you act. That's what creates change. You can have the perfect plan, the smartest strategy, the most well-thought-out steps. But if you don't have the emotional intensity behind it, you're not moving. You might dabble, you might try for a few days, but you won't commit. Because logic convinces the mind, but emotion moves the body. Real transformation doesn't come from information, it comes from ignition. That moment when something hits you so hard, so deep that you feel it in your gut. That's when people change. That's when they scream, I've had enough, or I'm never going back. That's when they cry tears of truth, when they feel the weight of the life they've been settling for. You see, it's pain that pushes, and vision that pulls. You need both. You need enough pain to say, this can't be my story anymore. And you need a vision so compelling that it drags you into your future, whether you feel ready or not. Some of you have been trying to think your way into change, but you can't think your way out of something you felt your way into. You've got to go deeper. You've got to stir something inside that shakes the excuses loose. When you feel enough emotional leverage, when the pain of staying the same outweighs the fear of changing, that's when everything shifts. And don't wait for life to give you that pain. Don't wait for the heartbreak, the job loss, the rock bottom. You can create that urgency in yourself right now. You can tap into that emotion. You can picture the cost of not changing. You can feel the weight of regret before it ever arrives. Or better, feel the fire of what's possible. Imagine the life, the freedom, the strength that's waiting for you on the other side of action. Let that fuel you. Let that drive you. Because once your emotions align with your vision, your excuses lose their power. Change doesn't last because of what you do once. It lasts because of what you do consistently. Everybody wants the big breakthrough moment. And yeah, that moment matters. But what really creates the life you want are the rituals that follow. The small, repeated actions that nobody sees, that you do every day without fail. That's what shapes your destiny. It's not about the intensity of one big move. It's about the consistency of your habits. You show me someone who's thriving, and I'll show you someone with powerful rituals. The way they start their morning, the way they handle stress, the way they feed their mind, move their body, speak to themselves. None of it is random. It's all intentional. Success leaves clues, and one of the biggest is this. Your rituals create your results. You can't expect a world-class life with a routine that's built for survival. Think about it. What are your current rituals? What do you do the moment you wake up? What do you feed your mind? What emotions do you train? Because yes, emotions are trained. You don't just feel motivated, you condition motivation. You don't just feel confident, you build it through repeated action, through pushing yourself even when it's uncomfortable. And here's the thing, rituals don't have to be complicated. They just have to be yours. Something that grounds you, centers you, charges you. A morning routine that locks in your state. A nightly ritual that reviews your progress and sets your intention. Simple things, done with consistency, become powerful over time. One weekend can absolutely change your life, but only if it becomes the spark for a new pattern. That's what this is about. Creating rituals that support your new identity, that reinforce the decision you made, that keep your momentum alive long after the hype fades. Because motivation fades, energy dips, but rituals are what carry you through when your feelings don't. And if you want to build a new life, you don't need to move mountains today. You just need to stack enough days in a row where you don't break the chain. You keep showing up, keep doing the work, keep feeding the fire, because your rituals are your foundation and your future is built on them. What if I told you that the difference between a life of mediocrity and a life of mastery isn't a single act of heroism, but a countless series of deliberate, unbreakable rituals? It's the steady drumbeat of your days, the choices you make before the world wakes up, the promises you keep to yourself when no one's watching, that forges the reality you inhabit. Imagine each repeated action as a drop of water carving a canyon. Each morning stretch, each moment of focused breath, each commitment you honor becomes the powerful current shaping your destiny. When you decide, truly decide, to elevate your standards, you craft a ritual that anchors you. You rise before doubt can whisper its excuses. You feed your mind truths that electrify your purpose. You move your body in ways that ignite confidence and sweep away fatigue. Every time you honor that ritual, you're sending a seismic message to your subconscious. This is who I am. And with each repetition, you're sealing that message deeper until doubt has no choice but to bow. Most people believe motivation is a spark. They wait for it to strike like lightning, unpredictable and rare. But you know better. Motivation is a forest fire you ignite and then tend. You feed it with rituals. You shield it from the rain of distraction. You stoke it with gratitude, with decisive action, with the fierce refusal to settle for less. And when the world rocks you with chaos, your rituals become your fortress. Solid, unyielding, eternal. Think of the life you crave. Vibrant health, unshakable confidence, unstoppable momentum. Now recognize that it isn't out there waiting for some grand miracle. It's inside you, waiting to be unleashed through the simple, sacred act of repetition. A single weekend can ignite a revolution in your soul, but the rituals you build afterward are the relentless heartbeat that carries you forward day after day into an existence you once thought impossible. So don't chase the illusion of overnight success. Forge your greatness in the quiet, persistent fires of your daily rituals. Let each sunrise be your call to arms, each practiced habit the proof that you refuse to live small. Because when your rituals become unbreakable, your transformation becomes unstoppable. And your future is built on them. And now, the choice is yours. You've felt the power of a single decision, confronted the beliefs that held you back, stepped into a new identity, ignited your emotion, and built the rituals that carry you forward. This weekend was your spark. It's up to you to keep the flame roaring. Stand tall, claim your promise, and let every breath fuel your transformation. The journey from where you were to who you will become begins right now. Go live the life you were born to lead.